Heyo Rad-poles, back at it again with another Speedpaint. Today, I'm bringing you a science fiction double feature, except the second half won't be till next week. That's right, today is the Saint Xenomorph. The one, the only, the shiny, the goopy. Who doesn't love some good old-fashioned religious iconography? My medieval bread and butter, if you will. Except probably a little less stale and a tad bit more nutritious? Today we'll start with our Xeno boy, and next week we'll finish it off with Mother Ripley. This came about when I found this frankly gorgeous 3D render of a Xenomorph on Google. Credit goes to Juan Noveletto. Oh god, I'm so sorry. He's got our good Xenomorph, looking more than just intergalactically otherworldly, but, you know, straight up religious chic. What I wouldn't give for a 3D printer to fight with and then probably never use again. But thank you, Juan. Solid work. Catch this boy on the red carpet of the Met Gala, am I right? What year was that? 2012? 13? Nah, I don't remember. Time isn't real. But do you all remember when they did that sick religious theme? Ah, dope. Loved every moment of it. So cool. The church doesn't have much going for it, but boy does it have an aesthetic. Anyway, I'm a sucker for a good old religious parallel. Be it the bitter art major in me, but god, I just can't get enough of that. What we have here is the bringer of salvation, rebirth, adaption, a soldier of the ethereal queen, and one extremely pointy monster boy, who almost looks like he's posing for a student photo. All he's missing is one of those quaint Alabama porches and sunlight, maybe a forced smile, with sadness behind the eyes. A little more to the left. Okay, honey, lift your head. Then he smiles and his second mouth shoots out and gets her. Oh my god, great. We'll call it Alien Elementary. Hire me, Ridley Scott. You know I'd be good for you. Anyway, so much like Juan's original idea, at least from what I can guess, I was trying to go for a more like altruistic depiction of our good boy. Something that could sit as like a patron statue or one of those old religious, what do they call those? Idols? Idols. Tell me you're not religious without telling me you're not religious. Haha, not me. I apparently can't think of the word idol. Unless we're talking of the Korean variety. And even then, my knowledge is quite limited. But anywho, I brought his tail around him to act as a sort of halo. I'm sure you've seen it in those old medieval drawings where they have like just the golden plates behind their head. I wanted that, but I wanted it echoed in his actual form as well as the lighting. The hardest time I had was actually just trying to make that tail look more circular. You'd think that, you know, copying and pasting as much as I did, in a curve it should make a curve, but apparently I can't draw a circle even when I try. Lastly, I added a human skull for scale in his hands. I don't know if it's actually the proper scale, but I'm gonna go with it. Reality, I should have put a banana for scale, as only any true American would, and this being the day of the 4th of July, I really messed up on that one. My bad, guys. It's almost like I'm Canadian and we used real forms of measurement, like skulls. Also, how would I know if he even likes bananas? We don't even know. He might be, like, allergic, in which case, could you imagine if they solved that entire movie franchise with, hey, the big adaptive alien boy? Yeah, actually, no, you get a banana, he's good. Gwen Stefani puts this man on edge. Anna anyways. I kept my palette pretty limited on this one. You can see it up there in the corner. I mainly just wanted some, like, greens, blues, and like a really good pop of something saturated, so that yellow worked out really well. I was struggling with how detailed I actually wanted to make this because my full idea for it was to put it on one of those prayer candles, so I figured it couldn't be too detailed or else it wouldn't really be legible. That being said, I went hog wild as I usually do, so hey, it's very busy. And let me just draw the attention of his little pinky finger going into the eye socket of that skull. I don't know why, it just looks like he's trying to pick the crusties out of that guy's eyes. The most considerate. Watching the speed paint back, it's actually really fun to see the shading because the ending colors were so dark I ended up using this like lighter gray while I was doing it so I could see what I was doing. And really like this, still looks kind of cool. He's like Metal Mario up in here. I used most of the desaturated colors for the actual shading, but then for the lighting I decided to use that pop of yellow. I really enjoyed that blue as well, and I was kind of debating between the two of them. So if you look, there's actually a low light of blue and a highlight of yellow, and then I decided to make any of the white bits in the picture that blue as well, so like his little teeths. This picture was fun for the experimentation of the lighting. I don't really get to do this very often, so having the fun, harsh, yeah, look at him go, he looks great and shiny. How I ever got an art degree, we'll never know. After shading the skull, all that was left was to throw in that texture into the background, just to place him in something. Also to add that bright yellow again in the background to make the little halo effect. It's so cool, I love that stuff. But with all that, he's done and ready to put on a candle. It's time to spiff up your altar, lay down that KY jelly, and pray to our patron saint. And honestly, in this day and age and economy, really the only one I'd be praying to. If there was anyone to crash the housing market, it'd be a Xenomorph, and really, that's the only way I'm gonna get a house. Ooh, or squatters' rights, maybe. Anyway, if you're interested, I am selling these prayer candles on my Etsy. I have the Xenomorph as well as the Mother Ripley that you will see next week. I'm also gonna be working on a third one, I think. Can you guess what the third one might be? Come on, put it in the comments. Guess, guess, guess. All that being said, thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you next week. Bye.